Welcome to the Jordan Miller Sports Podcast. I am your host, Jordan Miller. Today, we're going to be talking about the Kawhi Leonard Toronto Raptors and the Kevin Durant Warriors. And we're also going to be talking about, obviously, the Los Angeles Lakers playing a game last night. And we're also going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys with a big upset against the New Orleans Saints on Thursday Night Football. But first, let's talk about the big game. The Toronto Raptors and the Golden State Warriors. Now, if you didn't know, Golden State lost 128 with the Raptors getting 131. Big game between the two top teams right now. If you look at playoff seeding wise, with Toronto having the first seed and Golden State second, this is potentially an NBA preview. It's really exciting to kind of see how these teams might actually match up together, with Kawhi Leonard joining the team and the Raptors with. Then you have Kevin Durant and obviously Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, with the chance of also having DeMarcus Cousins on the court too at some point this season. Let's talk about the game kind of overall. Kevin Durant scoring 51 points, 18 for 31 field goal wise. Obviously a lot of shots, but when you have an all-time player like that, maybe second to maybe even third, fourth best player in the world, obviously get to get those shots. Kawhi Leonard going 37 points, 14 for 24. Really great defense from Kawhi Leonard, even though it was a big score for 128 for Golden State. But just the way, if you watch the game, it was really impressive to see how the Warriors have came back over and over. Because at one point the Warriors were down by 18, and they had really, it seemed like the game was already over. But you can never ever count out the Warriors. So they came back after down 18. They're down by almost up to 10, I think, by the half, once the half ended. So anyways, obviously the Raptors had a great chance of putting the game away, but with being up by 6, the Raptors had a good chance of winning the game with 1 minute left. Kevin Durant scores a 3 to catch up to 3 points left in the game. And then Kevin Durant comes back down with the ball. He's coming down left side, down the court. Another defender comes up on him, goes to the left corner, pull up, bam! With 10 seconds left in the game. The Raptors didn't get to make a shot, but the game did go to overtime, and the Raptors pulled out in the end. But overall, I think you got to look at also the other players on the team. Warriors starting lineup, Klay Thompson getting 23, and just the bench getting up. They did it pretty well as well. One player got up to 20 points, playing a really big upset for them in a sense, because their bench really hasn't been their strong point. Obviously, with their starting four putting in a lot of financial-wise money into them, but having some great players out there. Then the Raptors, Serge Ibaka 20 points. Kyle Lowry had 10, but he definitely was an all-around player with 12 assists and almost close to a triple-double with 8 rebounds. Danny Green, who he's having maybe not a resurgence career, but he's definitely stepping up to the plate. Haven't gone 3 for 6 for his 3-point game. So overall, it was pretty good game. It's gonna be really exciting to see when Golden State has everybody together, because then that's where we're really going to see how the matchup plays out. Let's go to the Los Angeles Lakers and the Indiana Pacers game. Indiana 96, but would lose to the Los Angeles Lakers 104. LeBron James scored 12 of his 38 points in the final 5 minutes of their game, and they rebounded from their first back-to-back losses in a month. So obviously it was a really good game for the Lakers. Let's see the rest of the starting lineup. Kyle Kuzma only 11 points, which everyone at this point seems like in the sports media is agreed on that Kyle Kuzma is probably the most second important piece right now. The rest is kind of like you're just questioning it with Brandon Ingram, who right now might be on the trading market right now, trying to get maybe Bradley Beal, question mark. But look at everybody else. Joel McGee putting in some good minutes. Tyson Chandler getting the rebounds for their team. And then you gotta look at other players too. Lonzo was playing, didn't have a really good game, only getting 2 points. Did get 8 rebounds, so you gotta give props to that, but 1 for 6 field goal wise. Nothing really too crazy in the game for them. Let's look at the Pacers. Sabonis on their bench got 20 points, leading the team. No Victor Oladipo, seems like. It's pretty crazy because Victor, he's definitely, when he's on the court, you have to watch him. His defense, his speed, his 3-point range is just, he has everything to be an all-star to be on again after going last year for his first one. So overall, it was a pretty good game. I think you have to just watch out for I think Pacers is like is a dark horse candidate. I think people aren't giving enough props right now. Right now you have Toronto, as we talked about, to Philly. You guys have about Milwaukee Bucks and obviously Boston, but you just got to look at the rest of the team and see how they do. Let's talk about the NFL game last night. We had the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints. This was a huge upset for Saints, even after yesterday's podcast. I believe that Cowboys were going to lose very badly. But the Cowboys defense shut the Saints down after scoring almost 33 points per game. Just incredible to kind of just see them just lose this, because with Drew Brees being an MVP candidate for this year, it's just crazy to see how they just got squashed like that. Ezekiel Elliott scored the only Dallas touchdown. The Cowboys slowed down Drew Brees and the Saints, ending their 10-game winning streak in the Thursday night game. Yeah, if you look at Drew Brees' stats, 18 for 28, only 127 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So it was a rough night. It was definitely a defensive game from the start, it seemed like, for the Dallas Cowboys. I think a lot of people have not given them much credit where credit is due, because of the fact that they are Dallas. Maybe it's an over-top. People talk about Dallas a lot in the sports media, as well as I'm talking about them right now, but it is a current game that we had last night. So keep an eye out for that. What's all going on throughout the NFC East for Dallas, because right now they sole possession of the NFC East after being on the bottom for so long next to the Giants. Saints now go number 2 in the NFC playoffs, with the Rams taking the first spot. So it's going to be interesting to see how Patrick Mahomes plays, because right now it seems like it's a 2 candidates really, with Drew Brees and Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes early in the season, then Drew Brees recently. It feels like. So definitely keep your eyes open for that. Try to see who's going to win the MVP. So let's also talk about some college football. We have a lot of games for championships in between conferences and stuff. Texas and Oklahoma will be playing against each other. Texas number 14, Oklahoma number 5. And if you didn't know, Oklahoma's only loss, they've gone 11-1, was to Texas. So this is going to be a great game on ABC, 12 o'clock. December 1st, so definitely a game to watch if you have the time for it. It's going to be interesting because it plays at Oklahoma. Right now, Oklahoma has a 73% chance of winning the game. So I think you got to really just watch for this to be like a revenge game. Oklahoma now being number 5 in the college playoffs game, college playoff series, and to be in the championship, got to go 1-4, 1 through 4. So it's going to be interesting to see if Oklahoma can do some big noise. I think this is going to be a really big game for Murray at Oklahoma, the quarterback, who is having almost a Heisman Trophy year potential candidate. So I think he's got to have if he plays a really good game, he's got a great shot of winning the Heisman Trophy. Let's talk about also another big game at 4 o'clock on CBS. The number 1 ranked Alabama versus number 4 Georgia. Alabama has gone 12-0, Georgia going 11-1. This is the college playoff championship rematch. It's going to be a great game. I think a lot of people have been wanting this game for so long because it really hasn't seemed like anybody has challenged Bama at all, and Georgia could be the only team that's going to until the college playoffs. Either it's, in my opinion, it's going to be either Clemson or it's going to be either Georgia. Those are the really two big teams. But it's going to be really interesting to see how the teams play out. I think just the thing that shocked probably everyone is how good that offense is for Alabama. I mean, like, everyone, if you ever talk about Alabama, it's defense. Defense is like, it's okay. It's like this year, it's okay, but you definitely have to look at the offensive rating. You guys look at Tua, the offensive quarterback, 3,189 yards, 36 touchdowns with only two interceptions. That is a great number to be if you're a quarterback, because you're not turning over the ball. You're making sure that you're still getting touchdowns for the team, compared to when Jalen Hurts was on the team, or still is, but when he was playing, he definitely use his legs to get touchdowns and not really his arm, and mostly if either he didn't really turn the ball over that much, but it'd be critical moments where you needed him and he didn't step up to the plate. So definitely keep your eyes out for that game. Really, there's not too many fun games to look out for as much. Like seeing playoff wise, Clemson, number 2 ranked, is versing Pittsburgh, which, I mean, seems like Clemson's gonna be in there. I don't see them losing to Pittsburgh. That they're going 12-0. I think you have to just kind of watch out for those kind of games right now, because with Bama and Georgia, that one looks like the fun one to watch at 4 at CBS, and then ABC at 12, Texas and Oklahoma. I think those are really your best games. I'm getting that Utah and Washington. It's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be on. It's actually tonight. If you have no plans. Utah and Washington. Utah is number 17. Washington's 11 for the Pac-12 championship game. Now, Washington was in the college playoffs just about a year ago, 2 years ago, and they've been okay. They've gone 9-3. So is Utah, 9-3. If you're from that area, it's going to be interesting to watch to see how these two fight it out. Right now, Washington has a 57% chance of winning the game. Browning he's done decent. He's got decent numbers: 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. That's not great, but it's as long as he can get you wins, you're not going to be hating on that. Their defense has always been really good for Washington. Let's talk about some. Before we end the show here, let's talk about some Friday night basketball. Why don't we, huh? So we got Cavaliers Celtics. Kyrie Irving returning to the Cavs, the Celtic again, but without LeBron there. So I wonder if there's going to be any memorable moments watching that. Hornets and Jazz. My favorite player, one of my guys, I think you have to say Kemba Walker. I've loved his run since UConn. That was one of my early memories of watching the NCAA tournament, to watching how Kemba has just put the whole college rankings on fire, and then coming out, I think he's done really well every year. His game has stepped up. Let's see here. Lakers will play the Mavericks at 10:30. Doncic is getting really good with Dallas. I think as the season goes on, they're going to get a lot better as he gets better. Really good game, actually. 10:30 on ESPN. The Nuggets versus Trailblazers. That's going to be a good game, because right now both these teams are they're not a Western Conference threat per se to go to beat the Warriors, but they're definitely two teams that are letting the league know that they're going to take this very seriously, and they're here for the long run. Right now, interesting, Portland is the underdog, with Denver having a 54% chance of winning the game, even though they're the away team, and they've been not too good of an away team so far. Really got to watch out for Jamal Murray if you looking for players to look for. The Denver Nuggets, 17.5 points per game. Dame Lillard, always got to watch that guy, 27.1%. If he's not Steph Curry, or if there is no Steph Curry, he would be the Steph Curry of the league with his far 3-point shooting, and also his ability to go underneath the basket and put up any points. But it's gonna be interesting to watch that game. If you don't got anything to do, I definitely watch that game right now. Nuggets are on a 4-game winning streak, and the Blazers are on a 1-game winning streak. So both teams have gone 5-5 the last 10 games. I think they're both at one point in the standings they're first, but they've had some struggles. Right now, Denver's number 2. And Portland's number 5 in the Western Conference. So, not the best rankings, but they're in it. Like, everyone is now at the point they're not far away compared to if you look at the East. You have to have there's a couple of wins you have to get to catch up, at least by 3 if you're Milwaukee to Toronto. That's second place to first, and then Philly is 4 games behind Toronto, then 5.5 for Detroit, Indiana. But like if you look at the Western Conference, they're only like a couple of games, like 1 game or a game and a half behind, with the Clippers being first. Denver, Golden State are 1 game behind, and OKC's a 1.5 games combined. So you got to really watch for those teams with Denver and Portland. I don't think they will be a huge threat to Golden State, but you just gotta watch out for them. They can get regular season wins. We're gonna end the podcast a little bit early today. We're gonna be trying to get some more special guests here on the Jordan Miller Sports Podcast. Just like to say thank you again for listening to the show. We're gonna be coming Saturday, and we're gonna be here Sunday as well over the weekend work. But just like to say thank you again for listening. Follow us on Twitter, our blog. We really appreciate the support. And thank you again, and you guys have a great weekend. And if you are listening on the weekend, we'll be here. See ya.